Oh yeah. So thanks for all the messages. Quite a lot of topics to cover, so I'm going to try and do one a day. For some reason, it looks like I've got one eye bigger than the other on this camera. Not liking that. So, what to do if someone dies at home? I'm going to separate this because there's various angles this could go. So I'm going to deal with the at home stuff first. So, say you're at home, someone's passed away. Doesn't really matter if you know them or not. It's not relevant to the information. First of all, legally, call an ambulance. Even if that person is obviously dead, certainly if you're not sure, call an ambulance. The ambulance has to turn up. Why does the ambulance have to turn up? The ambulance has to turn up because someone who's medically trained, i.e. a doctor, has to say that that individual has passed away. You can make as much judgments as you want, but you're not medically trained, therefore you cannot make that decision. So you have to call an ambulance. Once the ambulance arrives, it can be a private ambulance, it can be a private doctor as well, to be fair, or it can be a public service ambulance. Once the ambulance arrives, the medic on board will make a decision whether that death is deemed as natural or requires further investigation. So natural would mean that the person has a medical history with a certain problem. They are of a certain age with medical difficulties. They've seen a doctor recently. They have a known condition. Unnatural is probably the wrong phrasing for it. But if they were to be not happy with the circumstances, it would normally be because the person's too young. There is medication, drugs, alcohol, whatever it may be involved. They've not seen a doctor recently. They are in an environment where, say, they don't live in that house or in that hotel or whatever it's going to be. More specifically, signs of violence, more specifically, spilt blood. Those tend to be the big ringers. If you're 70 years old, you've got medical history and you've got proven heart problems, they would probably be happy to write a certificate or a receipt for us. If they are unhappy, they will call the police, which is normal. Do not panic. That is how it should be. The police will be called. First of all, normally local or national, and then secondary Guardia Civil, because they will be put in charge of it. So there will be a kind of a custody chain. So it would go from one to the other to the other. The Guardia Civil then would call the Institute of Legal Medicine, which will be local to where you are. So for instance, I'm currently Costa del Sol, so your choice will be Malaga or Algeciras. And the doctor would come from that institute. It would go one of two ways. The doctor may come out and go, nope, that's fine, we'll sign a certificate and you can carry on. Or they'll say, no, we're still unhappy and we want to further investigate. If they further investigate, that means that the body will be taken to the nearest medical institute. Again, Malaga, Algeciras, if you're local to where I am right now. And the autopsy will be done the following day. So anyone that passes away on a Monday between 1 minute past midnight and 1 minute to midnight on a Monday will be autopsied on a Tuesday. That's how it is. I don't know how they do it, but that's how they do it. If the doctor deems it okay, whether it's in the first circumstance or the second circumstances, you can just call a funeral director. However, a couple of things to point out. Regardless of anything, if the medical personnel ask you if you have a funeral plan or a funeral insurance or whatever it's going to be, tell them yes. Because unfortunately, there's a level of corruption which always springs its head up. So just to give yourself peace of mind, just say yes. Get them out of the building. Then deal with the funeral director. Phone your insurance, phone your funeral plan company, phone someone like me, and we will come and attend. I will always advise you on the phone if something is confusing or you don't speak Spanish or whatever it's going to be. But until that point, I really shouldn't turn up because technically it's a crime scene until a doctor has signed it off. Then the funeral director takes over. Oh, that's a whole new video. With the autopsy side of things, when the autopsy is done, providing it's deemed okay, the body could be released the following day. It's a bit of a hassle, bit of a fuss to do it the following day. It is possible, can be done, quite often is done. But in most, shall we say, foreign cases, i.e. expat cases, i.e. anyone outside of Spain, we tend to wait to the day after that just to let the dust settle a bit, let us take control and understand what's happened. That was a lot of information, wasn't it? However, if you have any questions, you can send them to me. You can comment on the video down there somewhere, or you can send me a message or give me a call. And I'll do another video about the other side of things, whether it's hospital death, whatever it's going to be. And then we'll talk about what a funeral director should be doing for you, because a lot of people don't understand what we do, what we're obliged to do, and what we should be doing. Speak to you soon.